Welcome to this clip on subtracting decimal numbers using base 10 blocks. As per the Ontario curriculum for mathematics under number sense and numeration, students in grade 5 are expected to add and subtract decimal numbers to the hundredths using concrete materials such as base 10 blocks. So in this case, because we're going up to the hundredths, we will be using a flat to represent one whole, a rod to represent 1/10, and a small cube to represent 1/100th. So the problem we have today is, what is 3 and 12/100ths subtract 1 and 78/100ths? Alright, so the first step that we're going to do is map out the first number using base 10 blocks. So I want to represent 3 and 12/100ths using base 10 blocks. So, because I have 3 ones, I'm going to put 3 flats in the ones column. I have 1/10, so I have 1 rod in the tenths column. And I have 2 hundredths, so I have 2 small cubes in the hundredths column. All right. So, we have to subtract 1 and 78/100ths. However, if I look at my hundredths columns, so first what I'm going to do is look at the hundredths column. 200ths subtract 800ths. Well, I don't have enough hundredths in my first number to do that. So, what I want to do is trade 1/10 for 10 hundredths so that I would be able to do the subtraction. So what I'm going to do is take away 1/10 from my number 3 and 12/100ths. So if you look on the left hand side, we're going to be left with 0/10. However, my hundredths will increase by 10 hundredths. So I'm trading in 1/10 for 10 hundredths. So now I have 12 hundredths, and I have to take away 8 hundredths, so I'm left with 4 hundredths. And as you can see, the algebra on the left hand side, 12 hundredths subtract 8 hundredths leaves us with 4 hundredths. All right. Now I need to go to the tenths column, and I see that I don't have any tenths, but I need to subtract 7/10. So what I'm going to do is trade one, so 1 whole. I'm going to trade in 1 whole for 10 tenths. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 tenths give me 1 whole. So on the left-hand side, we see 10 tenths subtract 7 tenths. And I did that because I took 1 whole. So I crossed out the 3 because I had 3 wholes. I'm trading in 1 whole to give me 10 tenths. So I'm left with 2 wholes, or 2 ones. And as you can see, now I have 2 ones and 10 tenths. So now I could do the algebra. 10 tenths subtract 7 tenths leaves me with 3 tenths. All right. Last step is to look at the ones. I have 2 ones, and I need to subtract 1 1, which I can do. 2 subtract 1 leaves me with 1. So I am left with 1 and 34 hundredths.